Alright, in the last video we covered how to make your silk screen, exposing the image specifically into it. Now let's actually print the sucker. So, get your screen that's already been exposed, grab yourself a soda, it's very important. I mean, I can't waste your time for nothing, right? Grab yourself some ink. I like to use Dick Blicks or Speedball, it's all fine. Get yourself a squeegee, and get yourself some different types of tape. You need a clear tape, and you need a masking tape. And these are little registration pins. They make more sense whenever you get to them. A couple spoons that you can throw away and annoy your friends. Go ahead and get some different types of paper. I'm using 9 by 12 inch paper because that's what I had available. That's going to fit my image size pretty nicely. And then if you are inclined to do so and you want to print on fabric, get yourself some fabric. So like some shirts, bandanas. I print on aprons a lot of time. I print on a wall in this video. I mean, like, you can print on anything. And then get yourself some boards to slide inside the shirt so that way they don't transfer through. You'll see it later. Alright, so for preparing your silkscreen, you have to tape up what is called the gutter. This is to make sure a few things. Number one, whenever you ink, it doesn't scoot through that little middle part. And two, just sounds cool. Just kidding. It doesn't sound cool at all. But yeah, get that tape down. Second, we're going to make our little registration here. I don't know why I said second. So here I just got my paper that I'm going to be printing on. Go ahead and just tape that down so it doesn't move. Then you're going to put your silk screen on top of it to kind of show where it needs to go to help you out. That's not entirely necessary, but whatever. What else are you doing today? Get those registration pins, and those are going to slide into the paper just like that. We're going to be putting 2 on. One on the bottom and one on the side. The tape from earlier is going to help hold it down. Now take your paper out, and you are going to tape the bottom side of the registration pin down. Again, it'll make plenty of sense once you actually see the thing. I could have did that like makeup tutorial thing where you put your hand behind it, but the moment's gone now. And it's never coming back. Alright, see how nice that is? Just slides right in, it's great. Go ahead and put your silk screen on top of it. And this is really like a hillbilly registration here. It's just how I learned. There's way better ways of doing it. But I'm just going to put some tape down where the thing's supposed to go. And it's worked fine. Whenever we do color registration, I'll show you a different way of registering. But for right now, this is fine. Alright, so once you get your ink down, just lay a little bit out. You're going to do 2 passes at first just to get used to it. One is called a flood. That makes sure your screen doesn't dry up, so it's just very light whenever I pull down. I'm not putting a bunch of pressure on it or anything like that. And then this is when I put pressure down. And that's it. Easy money. Glop your glorp back onto the screen. Make sure things don't touch the table if you can, because the ink's everywhere and it's disgusting. And then boom, you got yourself a print. Real easy. That's the nice thing about silkscreen. It's not very complicated. And since this is a printmaking process, you want to make sure and continue your addition out. So print the rest of whatever your addition is. I'm printing 5 here just to make it easy. Now, I know you might be like, hey K-Dog. Hey, how do I do this from above? Well, here you go. Boop. So you can see a little bit of the pressure going a little bit easier that time. I'd printed this a few times, so I realized I didn't need to flood the screen anymore. Just print direct. Black will do that. It's pretty easy to print with. But that's it. Make sure you spill ink all over the side of your silkscreen as well, because you're definitely going to want to touch the side of your silkscreen later and get ink all over your hands. Ta-da. Stop saying ta-da. Done. Alright, when you're done, scrape as much of the ink off of your silkscreen as you can back into the container, and then turn the water on in your sink and have it running. Everything that you're doing here, the acrylic of the ink doesn't necessarily want to hang out in a drain its entire life. So we need to push that straight through to wherever it ends up in the final run. I don't know where that is. I assume it's fine. No one has ever said anything to me. But we're just washing it off. We're not even using soap and water. We're not taking the tape off. I don't recommend taking the tape off until you're done with your prints. But you can take it off after you're done washing it. That'll make it so it's better. Because the ink wants to go inside. Alright, once you're all clean, your prints will probably be dry by the time it takes you to get done cleaning, because it's an acrylic ink. It wants to dry really quickly. A reminder about how to edition. Put a little quotations. This is where you're going to put the title on the left. I titled this one Bad Vibes because I'm very creative. And then you're going to put your edition number. This one's 1 out of 5. Since there's 5 prints, this is the first one. And then on the right, we're going to put our signature. Another look at that on the left. We're going to put the title of the piece. And in the middle, edition numbers is 2 out of 5, and then we'll go 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and then your signature on the right. Teacher always told me to use pencil, so I continue to use pencil whenever I edition. It has something to do with how your pencil stabs into the paper, and it makes it so it's impossible to actually ever erase or something. I like to believe there's some sort of like witchcraft out there that believes that pens steal the soul. Anyway. Let's get into printing some shirts, alright? I mean, that's one of the best things about silkscreen is it works on shirts really well. So first thing you want to do is you're going to take your board and you're going to stick that inside of the shirt. What that's going to do is it's going to prevent the ink from going through the screen or going through the paper, and it is also going to prevent the shirt from, I don't know, wrinkling on you, like creasing or anything like that, because you want this to be nice and smooth whenever you do the print. So I'm printing black and white just to illustrate kind of how dense it could be. So with white, it's a lot thicker, so it can flood your screen a lot easier. Don't worry about that until it happens to you, but put ink down, maybe get a couple of squeezies through. All right, you want to make sure that ink made it through and it was trying to rest on the top of your shirt. Pull it up, and then feel good about yourself. Go impress all your friends. Go, hey, I made my own shirt. And they're going to go, I don't care, Travis, but you still did something good today. Now, what if you wanted to print your own bandanas? And that's cool, 1990s Lollapalooza, but it's pretty easy to do. You just need to put the bandana out like a shirt. You need a board underneath it because that bandana is thin. The ink's going to go straight through it. And there you go. You got your own thing. Where there's a face mask, go rob a bank. Don't rob a bank. Alright, and just one last, I just like showing off all these things I can do. So here we're printing that pink onto the shirt, and the shirt actually doesn't hold the pink very well because the pink's a little bit runnier, and that's just something you got to get used to with these different types of inks. Another example of what you can do with this is you can silkscreen on basically anything. Here I'm silkscreening on a cabinet. Works just the same. Once you've made all your shirts, though, you need to take a second and reflect. No, I'm just kidding. You need to iron them, man. You got to heat set these, and we're never going to heat set them as much as like a professional silkscreen places, but we can at least do a little. Take your iron, medium to high heat, and hold it on that thing. I recommend watching TV while you do this because it is very boring. I think officially you want to get about 2 minutes worth of heat over the whole thing. Professional silk screeners have a huge oven that they put them in, and I don't know. I feel like if I tried to do that, the whole thing would just burn down. So why bother? So just 2 minutes, medium to high heat over the whole thing. You're not ironing it like a normal shirt. You're just ironing it to heat press it. All right, see you.